Hi everyone. So in this match, we are going to talk about the quarterfinal between Djokovic and Nadal that's going to take place today in a few hours from now. So we'll talk about their last five meetings. We'll talk about the key factors, the key shots, the significance of this match, the prediction as well. So let's get started. So if we look at the last five meetings, it has been quite evenly poised. Nadal, winning the 2020 French Open. We all know what happened there. It were similar conditions to the conditions that will be there today. But Nadal came out firing. He was hitting winners all over the court. He played really aggressively, took all the shots on the rise, took time away from Djokovic, and Djokovic just couldn't understand what was happening because he lost the set love six, and even in the second set, it was quite one-sided. It was the third set when actually Nadal's level dropped a little bit, and then Djokovic came into existence. It seemed like that. So that was quite one-sided match in 2020. But come 2021, I think again Nadal was able to win at the Rome Masters, and it was again quite a close match. We all know, and the last year's French Open, I think that was the closest match in a few meetings if we compare. And the conditions were quite heavy. Uh, the conditions were slow, and actually that allowed Djokovic to play his style of game. It allowed Djokovic to construct the points, and it was still close. If we see the third set, it was a tiebreaker, and it could have easily gone either way. Nadal had a lot of chances. He missed a easy volley in the tiebreak that could have been his set. So a lot of shots missed from either players, but again that was a close match, and Djokovic was the better player in the end, and he was able to win that French Open title. He went on to win Wimbledon as well and get it to the 20 Grand Slams. We all know what happened this year at the Australian Open, where Djokovic was not allowed to play, but then Nadal was able to beat Medvedev, coming back from two sets to love down. So belief wise, I think definitely Nadal will try his best. He'll have the belief to win the match. And strategy wise, we'll discuss what Nadal needs to do. So let's get going. So if we talk about the current form, I think obviously Djokovic looks to be in better form in this tournament. He hasn't been tested enough. All his matches, the durations have not been long enough to trouble him. Even the opponents that he has played, he has faced a few break points. He has, uh, you know, uh, played few tough games, I would say, but in the end he has always been able to win easily, comfortably. And even if we look at his past performance, recent performance, he won the Rome Masters, and there also I think he won without dropping a set. So again, that was a really good performance, a real confidence booster for him. So he would be looking in confident and in good form. Whereas if we compare that with Nadal, although Nadal is also playing well, but he has some issues here and there. He had injury issues prior to this French Open. He had to skip a lot of tournaments, and he was not able to win a big tournament prior to the French Open, even though he had won the Australian Open. But because he has himself admitted that he likes to play a lot of tournaments before French Open to prepare himself, and win a few of those tournaments would give him confidence. But because he has not been able to do that, so maybe there is something on the back of his mind that his confidence might be lacking a little bit. And because he knows how Djokovic has performed recently, again that might add to that factor. Also, having seen Nadal play the last match against Felix, which was again a marathon five setter, it could have gone either way. Nadal played really good in the end. This is what he does. But Djokovic again is a different player. So if it gets really close, then you never know whether Nadal would be coming at the top or Djokovic. So given that last match, I think Nadal would be a little bit tired after that marathon five setter, and the conditions for tonight would be quicker. So he has to actually try to avoid any long rallies, and he has to actually try to save more energy and play quicker to avoid any effects of that previous match that he had. Now, talking about the key shots, so we all know that what happened last year. So for Djokovic, the angled forehand cross-court shot was the key shot. He was able to pull Nadal outside the sidelines and open up the court, as you can see in the screenshot. And it was really difficult for Nadal to control the ball from there. The only option that Nadal has from this point onwards is either to use a very good slice, or he has to go down the line and hit a winner. Now, if Nadal is confident, if he's playing well, that is quite possible. He can do that. But if he's under pressure, then maybe he would not go for that shot. So Djokovic has to consistently try to hit this shot, bring Nadal out of the court, and then use either his backhand cross court or his forehand, take the ball early and finish the point. The same thing also applies to Nadal. So I think this is one key shot for both these players, one key tactic. They both try to pull their opponent outside the sideline on the backhand, and then they try to open up the court and hit the winner on the forehand. And they are both really good at that. So if you talk about Djokovic also and Nadal also, so if you've seen the screenshot, we have seen it time and time again where Nadal pushes Djokovic outside the sideline on the backhand, and he just waits for a weak reply, and then he's able to hit his forehand down the line, the open court, and finish the point. And because Nadal's that shot is so good and it comes naturally to him, he is able to whip it with a lot of topspin, a lot of quickness. So what happens is, even if Djokovic's shot is quite deep inside the court, into the court, and if it is a good shot, still Nadal is able to maneuver it down the line. So Djokovic has to avoid this shot, this pattern of play at any cost. He has to go for his down the line shot and play it really well. Now, even if he plays down the line, he has to make sure that the ball is deep, and it gives himself enough time to come back into the court, because Nadal's backhand is also really good. So he can also go for his cross court backhand and still win the point. And again, as I mentioned, Djokovic has to avoid this pattern of play and always try to go more so on Nadal's backhand. And it should be a good shot from Djokovic as well to keep Nadal behind the baseline on his backhand side. And then it would help Djokovic to construct the point. So these are the key factors in shots. I think we already covered the shots, but for the key factors, I would say Nadal's fitness is a really key factor here. The court conditions are also key because the conditions would be cooler, so Nadal's forehand might not get that much topspin. That would really favor Djokovic. But on the other hand, because the conditions are cooler, maybe Nadal will try to play really aggressive, take the ball early, as he did in 2020, and maybe that would allow Nadal to play more aggressively and try to finish the point early, and it would play in favor of Nadal if he is able to play aggressively. One more factor that we don't consider often is the fans. So we have seen a few times that when the fans cheer for the opponent, it really gets into Djokovic's head, and sometimes he loses focus for a few points here and there, and that is enough for Nadal to take that opportunity and win the match. So I would say Djokovic has to be really calm and avoid any such interactions with the crowd. We all know the French crowd; they are quite vocal, so Djokovic has to make sure that he's focused completely. He's in the zone. If he loses his focus, then Nadal will be really looking to pounce on that opportunity, play a bit aggressive, and then win the match as well. So the significance of this match is huge. If Nadal is able to win this match, it would give him a great opportunity to possibly play Alcaraz in the next match. And after that, if he is able to win, he could get to 22 Grand Slams. That would be really hard for Djokovic to reach, because he would have to then win two, possibly three Grand Slams to take over Nadal. And that would mean he has to win three Grand Slams in a span of 1 or 2 years. And both these players are above 35 years of age, so it gets really difficult to win any Grand Slam at this stage. So if Nadal can get to 22, it will be a significant achievement for him. And because he has already hinted in one of the press conferences that he's not sure how many Grand Slams or how many matches he would be able to play, so if he is able to get to 22, that would be a great number. And then for Djokovic, obviously, if he can stop Nadal, or if he can get to 21 himself, he will have a chance to overtake both Nadal and Federer, which who he has already uh, you know moved ahead of. So predictions, I would say, looking at all overall court conditions, the form, the previous matches, I would say that Djokovic looks to be in a better position to win this match in 4 or 5 sets, but anything can happen. So that is the presentation. Let's see what happens in the match. I hope it's a quite interesting and a marathon match. It should be five setter, so that the crowd enjoys it. Yeah.